Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Sesh. I am your host, Raveheart, here as always with my co-host, my best friend, my partner in crime, Taylor Surreal. How's it going, buddy?
It's going well. It's going well. I'm excited. I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
Lots to talk about.
let's talk Baku. Let's talk the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Who did you have winning this one?
I want to say Verstappen.
I feel like you did say Verstappen. I went with Leclerc, which
Not a bad choice.
looked good. Clearly, Ferrari has pace over one lap, but not. They don't have the
Top of
race
the pole.
pace. Let's put it that way. So yeah, neither one of us, neither one of us are scoring points on this one. But we're gonna debut something. All right, fuck it, let's do it right now. We're gonna start doing after in this next episode for the French Grand Prix, the Predictors Championship.
Yes.
Taylor and I will be predicting the podiums, and we'll get an extra point if we can predict the person who's got qualifying or the fastest lap.
Yes.
You can take that choice. And we'll be competing for the remainder of the season to see who will come out as the top predictor here at the Sesh Grand Prix. But let's get into the race. We'll race reviews. Let's just start off with the placements. We had Perez taking the win for Red Bull. You know, so do you think the Red Bull, the curse of the second seat, do you think that kind of closes it out, or is it just Perez had a day and he'll go back to being crap later on?
I don't believe in the curse of the second seat per se, but I think Perez just did phenomenal at doing what he does, and just by chance
Happened to
came
just
out with the W. Like
Yeah.
all he did was did his game. He just drove like he does, and boom, he came out on top. It worked.
we have Seb Vettel in P2, probably the best meme from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The what did you do at Baku, Dad? Like started P11, finished P2, and that's the kid on the floor is like fucking legend. It's like
Fucking legend.
yeah,
Well,
Seb
I mean-
had himself a weekend.
you first time they've ever hit the pole ever in F1.
Yeah, it's Stroll got
That's
close.
Crazy.
Stroll got close, but yeah, he just. It was like when he was making up positions later on before Max crashed. It was like, it was he gonna catch Hamilton? It was like it looked like he was right on the verge of it, and then red flags and controversy, but
Bruh.
Seb had a weekend. And the guy who I found myself rooting for at the end of the race, Pierre Gasly, taking P3. As they say, he was super effective.
Again, ridiculous.
It's like
Look at the top three.
It's like whenever Lewis screws up, Gasly ends up getting a podium.
Enter Pokemon Ghastly meme right now.
Yeah. And then we had Charles Leclerc, my pick for the winner in P4. Like,
You picked a good choice because, I mean, he was convincing for a minute.
for a couple laps, but that battle he had with Gasly at the end, holy crap, that was great. Just watching those two fight it out, going through those like tight sections, it was just like
It was phenomenal.
Pierre was just like, I am not giving up this podium. I don't give a fuck. It's like I'm either taking us both out or I'm getting that podium, and yeah, he put himself there. It was really cool to see. I was hyped. Like I was sitting out. I was out in my back, like out on my back patio. I was like watching on my phone, I'm just like, "Yeah, go Pierre, go!" Like, I was getting hyped.
Emphatic. I was yelling. Oh,
Got Lando.
this is
Okay,
the race.
yeah, we got Lando Norris in P5. He's been incredibly consistent this year. You know, you think he's gonna get a race win this year?
You know, I've been thinking about that. I think it's possible. Like if a track that works for him and he gets high in qualifying and then can just hold on, I think it's doable, to be honest. Because I thought about that like a couple races ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But all right, let's get into it. The Merc fucking meltdown. You know, Chernobyl, Mercedes style. Valtteri, like, what? I don't know if it was like, they said he had the bigger rear wing for more downforce. But it was just like, he was driving the, Mercedes Silver Brick this weekend. And towed Lewis to, where did he start? Did he start P3 or P2?
Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis.
I want to say P3.
Alright, whatever. Well, it doesn't really matter. He started on the first 2 rows of the grid, and dude, just the memes. The memery of him going off on turn 1. That is, like, they are so great. You know, there's I love the controller disconnected one. That was probably my favorite. But it's like, do you think it's, Lewis is...
Wait, are you talking about after the restart?
Yeah, after the restart.
Yeah, okay. When they show the shot of the whole lineup, the whole grid, and Lewis's tires or brakes are
smoking.
Just smoking out of control. And he accelerates quicker than everybody else, gets out in front, can't turn. Brakes lock up, goes straight into the overpass, over the run area. Drops 15 positions.
I mean, dude, like, Lewis's brakes were...
Well, what was he doing in that lap warm-up that got his brakes so hot? What the hell was that?
So it's the magic button. So, okay, I've watched like 8 million videos on this to try and work out exactly how it works. So basically what it does is there's this button on the back of the steering wheel that allows them, through settings and other things, to shift the brake balance all the way to the front and keep heating those front tires, which is, I guess, what they want. I don't know. I haven't dove deep enough into the actual science of racing to figure out how you heat each tire and all that shit. But it's like, yeah, so it's like you use it on like safety car laps and other things to help keep heat in your tires when you're going slow.
Okay.
And I guess he left it on. Or was like, as he was coming down the straight, getting ready to get into the turn, he hit it by mistake and caused the lockup and him to go wide. So an uncharacteristic mistake from Lewis Hamilton. I have to admit, I was not like... Okay, how to put this... I'm not going to put this diplomatically. The only thing smoking more than Lewis Hamilton's brakes before the restart was me. So I'm like, I'm mid exhale, and I'm watching him go off. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, what in the F is that? And then, but he accelerates, but of course, for the first turn, boom, gone.
Yeah, it was just like, what happens now?
What the F did I just see? What the F did I just see?
But then,
the announcer's going crazy. Lewis Hamilton has dropped 15 positions. Oh, he's in the...
Yeah, but then, like, you didn't have a half a second to just sit. It was... The battles just kicked in. But I guess we should probably also talk about why those battles happened. Um, we had Sir Lancelot being slayed by his tire. That that reshuffled the grid once. And then it's like I don't get how we're going to talk about this later, but I don't get how Pirelli is saying that they didn't do like oh, it's not on us. We didn't do it. When Red Bull has like no, I guess, verifiable data on that tells them that it was like a puncture or, something else. So there was like damage to the tire.
Who was the first people to crash?
Aston
Martin, right?
It was like the same tire too.
Exactly the same tire. I don't know if it was the same straight. I know the Aston Martin was about to enter
section,
the pits.
But
Aston was about to enter the pits. The other car, Verstappen, was on basically the straightaway where they said he was doing 200 miles an hour when he crashed.
Yeah, both him and Lance were both at the, coming down that main straight.
Yep.
Pretty much flat out. Then boom.
Who was it that changed tires first? It was Aston Martin again, right?
Maybe.
If I remember correctly,
but
I think Aston came into the pits after like the 5th lap or something and changed. And everybody was like, what?
But, so like, I read something from Formula One themselves, and it was like this article basically laying out possible strategies for the circuit. Mm-hmm. And one of them literally was like 4 or 5 laps on the softs, then go like onto the hards, which should carry you to the end of the race, which obviously they didn't. But I have a feeling like if you're gonna run that strategy, you're almost hoping for a safety car. Which unfortunately, the safety car they ended up getting was from one of their guys, the guy who was trying to put the strategy into work. Obviously it didn't go like they planned it, but there's worse shit's happened. But Verstappen though, it's just like one thing I don't get is why it's like, oh, I feel so bad for him. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Okay, he's leading the championship. There's been no effective change at the top.
Well, because Lewis also...
Yeah, Lewis also fucked it. But it's like... Like, yeah, something happened that was completely out of his control, but at the end of the day, it all lines up. Like, he's not any better off or any worse off than he was before.
Right.
Just let it go.
Right.
On the other hand, I think Perez, dude, you got to give him the... Like, it was like... Everybody was talking like, they need more from Sergio. They need more from Sergio. It's like, the fuck more do you want him to do? Like, he's
limited in ways.
It's like, we've talked about it before, but neither one of us can really conceive of how difficult it must be to drive one of these fucking things.
Oh.
We all know Taylor really wants to, and that I will live vicariously through him when that happens. But
yes.
Like, you gotta give the guy some time.
Oh, I love this guy. This guy is my new favorite guy, I think. Sergio Perez.
Because he just gets like fired from every other team that he seems to drive for, but then goes to another team and does well. It's like,
oh my goodness, I'm eating tacos tomorrow in his honor. Dead ass. I didn't realize he was Mexican, and this is phenomenal. I love this man.
He's the only North American, so I think we have to. Or no, he's not. There's 2 Canadians, but I'm not rooting for Latifi or Lance Stroll. You can fuck that shit.
My new main man is Perez. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, like if there's if there's outside of the guy that I'm now just gonna back, Pierre Gasly.
Oh,
Dude, just like after watching,
kudos.
I rewatched Drive to Survive before the race. Like I was rewatching it this last week, and his episode is just like I can't help but root for the guy. I feel like it was hard done by Red Bull, and it's like there's a lot of talk, and I think the likelihood of him going back to Red Bull is limited, but like you can tell, he's got that. Christian told me I couldn't do it, but fuck him. I'm gonna make an indisputable case that I need to be brought back to be, the second Red Bull. And I don't know. It's like it's almost like it's not like a Senna Prost kind of relationship, but like they're two really talented drivers. And it's like the sparks will fly if those two are on a team together.
Oh,
and
sure.
I don't know. I think Pierre might have the edge over Max.
Ooh, now we're talking. Okay.
It's like if Pierre and Max, I think if Pierre and Max were on
given
equal
like
machinery,
okay, yeah,
given equal machinery, they could, like, it would be extremely close now.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It's like, think of all the things that have happened in the time since he left Red Bull. He got the podium for AlphaTauri. Then he got the win. He's been in Q3 every session, like every race this year. He's qualified really well, and he's been on the verge of a podium a couple times, and he nails it this time. It's just like whatever happened, him going back to the Scuderia AlphaTauri, he got his confidence back. And I think that if he were to go back to Red Bull, he would have that, fuck you, I'm going to take it to you confidence that, race drivers need.
Absolutely need. Very interesting. I want anybody that has an opinion to comment down below because this is a very interesting topic.
Yeah, I'm dropping the hot takes now. So, one thing I did want to talk about, Daniel Ricciardo finishing in the points after a rough weekend at Monaco. He obviously fucked it up in Q3. Turn 15, the F1 driver eater. I saw one was like a Daniel Ricciardo for like fan account. It was like, are you turn 15 at Baku? Because I'm gonna bang you. Just like, yeah, you and like 9 other people. Like, it was like there's some like tractor beam the FIA is testing out, and they just decided to put it at turn 15 or some shit. But do you think this is the start? Like that he's gonna start rolling and
yeah, I actually
get back to.
He looked good. He looked like he was. The pits were happy with him. Like he looked good. I can't say much else other than that.
Yeah, it's like
I'm excited because I like the guy.
He is
videos.
He is hands down, I think, the most likable guy in Formula One.
Cool guy. He's a cool guy. He seems like a nice guy. From the videos. I don't know him.
I will say this now. If the opportunity ever presents itself, I'm going to be ripping some J's with the Honey Badger. Like, that's going to happen. I
don't take pictures with famous people. But
if I see you take one with Daniel Ricciardo, yeah.
I might have to take a pic.
Yeah. It would literally probably just be to rub it in my face, though. But
might have to do it.
In all honesty, it would be that'd be fair. You'd be well within your rights to rub it in my face.
If I see Danny Rick, I gotta take a pic.
Well, let's wrap it up with our and I think Formula One's favorite probably Grandpa, Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi gets into the points for the first time this year. Like, there's really not a whole lot to say there. Kimi's my favorite. The Kimi drunk at the FIA award compilations are always a great watch. And I think I said it in the last episode. I think Kimi's one of those guys. He could roll up, chug it out of a bottle of absinthe, and like taking 3 tabs before a race, and he'll just be fine.
Be fine.
This dude's a fucking animal.
Dude's a legend. It's tough to root against him.
It's impossible to root against Kimi Räikkönen.
It's tough. It's where you can't. Like, how could you?
But all right, let's move on to the big questions for this week, starting with, are Pirelli and the FIA to blame for the tire mayhem this weekend?
Pirelli, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you right now, Pirelli.
It's a bit suspicious when it's like you're the one doing the investigation, but it's your product that is the thing that screwed up.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
And they're Italians.
No.
And they're Italians, so you obviously know some shady shit is going down. But
no, the tires are fine, I promise. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we were facing unusually hot and like magnetized heat areas in Baku with all the buildings and tight areas, and it looked hot as shit from what I could see. When I saw drivers getting out of the cars, their whole driver's suit was soaked from the back. Like, they're just sweating profusely. It looked hot as shit out there, regardless of what they said.
Like, I saw, like, the thing was, like, the weather report said it was, like, 20-something degrees.
Celsius?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking hot.
I have no frame of reference. I am an imperialist. I don't fuck with the metric system.
Also, hot for Doug is like 60 degrees.
Yeah, it really is. But like cold for me is like -10, so
we digress.
It's like you can't handle it if it gets in the fucking 40s. Like if it's in the 70s, I'm sweating and I'm uncomfortable.
This is why we're homies.
But it's like
it's the opposites attract thing.
But no, like the fact that Pirelli came out so quickly and said, "No, it ain't us."
The race wasn't even over. It
was a bit suspicious. And also, it's like the FIA. Dude, I don't know what it is about the FIA, but I just don't fucking trust those guys.
It feels like FIFA to me. I can't trust any of it.
It's like FIFA, but French.
Even worse.
Yeah. It's like... I also feel like Liberty Media, to a point, is to blame here. Only because it's the whole... They want it to be a better show. But it's like... Okay, I get that. And like I'm the one that said last week that's like, oh, I'm an American. I watch this shit for crashes. I watch it in the hope that there might be one. I don't want them to skew shit, put dangerous parts on cars, just so I can get a crash.
Right. However, I will say this now. I am very impressed with the technology and the aero of the cars, how you can crash into the wall because of a tire failure at 200 plus miles an hour and not take flight. That was pretty amazing.
And both Mad Max and Sir Lancelot got out of those cars and walked off like it was fucking nothing.
Angry. They were blessed enough to be angry.
The Max kicking the tire memes, I love those.
Bro,
those are great.
Max, when he first climbed out, immediately the first thing he did, he took the fucking steering wheel off and just threw it. He threw threw the steering wheel and just that shit was on the floor. He just threw that expensive ass steering wheel. He fucking tossed it. He was so angry. I was like, oh, he's in first place, and then he crashes because of a tire failure. Puncture? I don't know. Red Bull's fucking data didn't say anything.
Yeah, it's like, and the way like you looked, like they had the video on the pit wall, where they were talking, like it was Christian Horner, um, who's the, oh god, helmet, helmet Marco. I almost called him Helmet Zemo. All right, we're not getting into Marvel shit right now, but yeah, it's like they were all crowded around talking. It was like they were very clear that it wasn't anything on their. There was nothing on their data that would indicate that there was anything wrong with the tire up until the second it exploded.
No punctures. No wearing down to the point of exploding. No nothing.
The other thing that makes me think that okay, maybe that Pirelli is not being entirely honest is the call from the Red Bull, higher ups, the middle executives or whatever, to the race director after Max's crash, asking for the race to be red flagged, just so everybody can change tires. It was like
I was
that, like
for,
the way he sounded on the radio. It was like, "Yo, I understand my other guy is in the lead right now, but this is probably a good idea just to make sure everybody's safe." And like, it's bothersome to me that it just seems like Pirelli is so eager to say it's not us.
Oh, immediately.
Like that makes them immediately suspicious in my eyes.
Yes, absolutely. Because those tires were supposed to last for 40 laps.
Yeah.
They blew it like 20.
Yeah, which on a one-stop strategy in a 50-something lap race, that should have been doable.
Very doable. Promised. And
Yeah.
could do more in extreme scenarios. Now, the question is, was it the extremely windy conditions in that tight city area with sandwich bags and God knows what else coming blowing onto the track that you can't?
Yeah.
Or was it the heat, the increased heat they didn't expect for, due to like all the buildings are white, sun is reflecting down. It's almost like sand. It's beaming. It's like reflecting UVs down onto the track. They said the track was way hotter than like they would expect. Was it that? Were the tires wearing down, or was it just failure?
Yeah, was it
from?
Just
Yeah.
standard wear and tear. The other question would be, it's like, is it like a combination of you have the heat, and then you have unexpected levels of heat. Then you add in the wind, which is going to add some pressure on the tires depending on where shit's blowing in from and what corner you're going into. And like you could see them coming down the main straight, how much their heads were moving around. Like they were getting slammed into the back of their cars at a certain point. A combination of those two things, and who knows? Like, we both live in relatively urban areas. It's like there's a trash can on the side of the street. There's a high likelihood that like a can or something weird that you don't expect is going to end up in the street, and it's not going to get cleaned up properly, and something crazy can happen. Especially when you have
just throw trash
fucking
in the street,
slicked race cars driving down a street at 200 miles an hour. That's kind of
in the city with large buildings where it's like not quite like New York, but let's just think of the fact of the tunnel effect that happens with wind.
Yep.
When it's like just flowing through the building areas, and it's like bags and sandwich bags and crisp wrappers, as I think one of the announcers said, could get blown up into the air and travel all the way down, several blocks.
The
Like, you
wild thing
can't
is also,
control that.
if you look at the people who, like, the people on the balconies in Baku were a little bit more lively than Monaco.
Oh, yeah.
There's that one dude with, like, the Azerbaijani flag who was standing, like, over one of the corners. And, like, you could just watch during the race every time they, like, panned over to him. It was like, he's getting progressively more drunk. It was just like...
Oh, that was my guy.
He was having a good time.
This is what I was saying about they need to come to Long Beach because it looks similar. Not really, it doesn't look similar, but there's all these high rises that look down on the track, and I know everybody will be out of control.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
And it's IndyCar. But yeah, I digress.
We'll get to that. We'll do something
I'm just going to keep inserting that until it happens.
Dude, if there's a fucking Long Beach Grand Prix, like, sign me the fuck up. But all right, let's get to our second question, and this is the fun one for me. I think, should the communications between the teams and race director Michael Massey be a selectable option in the F1 app broadcast? And I think the answer for both of us is a resounding fucking yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
what the fuck is he talking about? What is he in their ears with? We want to know.
It's like, I want to hear who is like the Tom Brady, the LeBron James of F1. I want to hear who's on the radio all the time bitching for calls. I want to know. I want to hear. I want to know who the whiny bitch is.
We know Lewis Hamilton's up there. We know that.
Yeah, I think the McLaren's probably in that ballpark also. After this weekend.
Yeah.
Fucking ratting on Yuki Tsunoda. And then Michael Massey basically tell him, "Hey, you were cheating too, so shut the fuck up." Like that was great. It was basically like a dad saying to like a kid, like, "If you don't shut up, I will turn this car around. No ice cream, no GameStop, we're going home." Like,
I will turn this goddamn bus around.
Yeah. It's like, I only want that or like, I want to be able to hear what, like, if Toto Wolff or Christian Horner were mic'd during this fucking race, and you hear their reactions live as it's happening to Max's blowout and Lewis's just... I want to hear the long string of what I assume will be muffled German curse words as Lewis is driving off, into the outrun. Like, I want to see that. I want to hear that. Because I feel like that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
For
like...
sure.
Yeah, the communication between the drivers and the engineers is good to hear. Like, it's nice to have that as a part of the broadcast. But, like, we want the tea, Formula One. We want that sweet, sweet drama tea. And driver radios can give us a little of that. But the team radios, our cup will runneth over. I have no doubt that if they were to open that up, it would be bonkers, the shit that we would hear. Because it's like they're not allowed to talk to each other, but they're allowed to talk to, Michael Massey, who's then allowed to pass a message on. But, God, I would love to hear something like that. That would be absolutely hilarious. But all right,
only hope and pray.
I think that's enough for this video. We will be seeing you guys in the run-up to the French Grand Prix at the Circuit de Paul Ricard. It'll be June 25th through the 27th. And we will also be debuting the Predictors Championship.
Croissant.
What do you think the prize should be? I'm thinking championship belt.
Very interesting.
Leave
I
a
have
comment.
no idea.
Leave a comment down below. Let
I
us
have
know.
no idea.
The Sesh Predictors Championship. What should our trophy be? All options are open. The cheaper the better, please. Though, like we're not made of money. We're not fucking Ferrari. We don't get that Marlboro money. But all right, everybody.
Legacy money.
We will see you guys soon. But until then, adios.